All right, hey guys, welcome back to the FBA Excel training course. Now that we've done our initial bid optimization after our onboarding, I wanted to kind of take a step back and go through the process really quickly once more, just so you fully grasp the daily process of optimizing your bids and just literally how simple it can be. After you've onboarded and set up your bulk file the first time, done your initial optimization, which we covered in the second video, then you're going to move into the daily or frequent optimization sequence. And that's just going to be using these 4 steps. So that's what I'm going to run through real quick just to make sure everybody grasps how you do it. Essentially, when you're done with that first onboarding optimization, you're going to delete this file each time, hit OK. We're going to go back up to Apex, hit Get Bulk Sheet. We're going to download our new range. I'm using the waterfall bid method, which I'm going to do 30 days, hit Create Spreadsheet. That's going to download here in a few seconds. I'm going to pretend that this one's the one that I need. If you ever do get an error, actually I just got it here, so it's not allowing me to download it. All you need to do, hover over that, hit Bulk Operations, and it'll refresh the page. Sometimes it gets a little wonky, but click that again. It'll give you the prompt here. Hit My Drive, and you can put it in your training files here. Just name it. I usually name it the date. I'm going to hit cancel because I've already got one in there. You're going to go back to Apex and do file import. You're going to go training files, pick your bulk download, insert new sheet, import data. All right, once it imports, you'll see the 4 tabs down here at the bottom. You're going to go Apex, initialize, hit yes. All right, you're going to get a prompt that says initialization completed. Just hit OK. Then it's going to jump you into your new formatted bulk file, and this is the same state that we essentially started the video in. So just know that what we just covered, that's how you get back to this phase. And then to run through the optimization sequence, it's essentially as easy as hopping over to your products dashboard. The metrics in here now are going to be based on that newest bulk file download that we just did. So if you want to log your current snapshot results, just click this plus button, and then you can hit Control-Shift down on the ACOS column, or maybe you're wanting to track your spend, or maybe you're wanting to track both of them, however you want to do it. Hit Control-C, and then you just paste that in, and then you can label the date however you wish. All right, so this is the point where you can also make tweaks to your bid inputs at the SKU level. You can look at your metrics over here and make adjustments accordingly. I'm not going to cover all the columns in this video, but know that like your target ACOS, your high ACOS thresholds, if we're using the waterfall bidding, those are a couple levers there that drive your bids for those specific targets. If you're hitting a target that has a higher ACOS than this high ACOS threshold, that's going to be a couple of the main ones. The other one, usually what happens in my accounts is I've got some targets that are assigned at the bid override table that are maybe in single keyword exact campaigns with a high bid override. Those are really going to be the driving factors in driving your spend and your high ACOS for specific SKUs. So between this screen and your products dashboard here, this is where you can really keep a pulse on how your specific SKUs are performing. I'm going to show you an advanced technique at this point to get some further insights into your data, which you would actually want to do kind of in this in-between step if you're really wanting to get a little bit deeper dive into the data. If you don't want to do the deeper dive, your next step is, and your last step is bouncing back to your bulk sheet here, coming up, optimize your bid, click waterfall. This is going to again, optimize your bids based on the waterfall bid algorithm and our bid inputs assigned in the products dashboard. You can see it's pasting over the new optimized bid. It's going to put it overriding our current bid. If we ever want to go back, you've got the original bid here in column AN that you can reset that default in the advanced actions filters. We'll give this a second here to adjust, and then I'm going to show you the advanced insights. Hit OK. Wait for the running script to turn to finished, and then you're good to go. Then it's as easy as creating your upload file. That's going to put it in your Google Drive account, and then you can go back. If at any time you want to go to the bulk sheet screen, you can always click this step 1 here, and it's going to bounce you back into the advertising console as long as you're logged in. You hit choose file, select your new file. So hit choose file, go over to my drive, uploads, and then that new file that you create is going to be right here. Just double click and you'll be good to go. One other thing, if you do double click on that, you do have to click upload to process changes, or else it won't actually upload. And then you'll see down here, if you do get any errors, you can click that download report. But the big bulk files you'll see are going to be like, depending on how big your file is, mine's around 3,000 rows. Another thing to point out, if your bulk file is really large, I'm talking like 60,000 rows, the system can handle that usually, but I am going to recommend you watch the optimization video because you probably have a lot of campaigns that you're not using that would make sense to either archive, or we can organize them in a way that's going to make running your files through the Apex system a lot more efficient. So at any rate, that is in a nutshell your daily optimization process. The other step you can do in between, which I would recommend to do on occasion, is come up here, click on Add Insights, hit KPI Tiles, and hit Launch Tiles. And this is going to give you a breakdown unlike anything you've probably seen in any of the other tools. They don't really have the ability to quickly do this like Google Sheets does. So we've built in some automations to give you some at a glance, really good insights that are actually broken down at the match type level. And you can quickly just scroll across and see if you've got anything jumping out at you from a spin, maybe a click-through rate, ACOS, pretty much anything you can think of. We've got some metrics and insights on it. So I'm going to just let this run for a few seconds, and I'll be right back to briefly explain what you're looking at. All right, once your Add Insight tiles are built out, you're going to get a sync complete prompt. Just hit OK and wait for the running script to turn to finished. And as I scroll across here, you notice you've got all your KPIs there at the top and just a very quick image of your item, and then broken out by the match types, the different summations or totals for each of those metrics. You do have some other reports here, which I'll cover in a future video, but just wanted to briefly touch on this Add Insights and just how powerful this can be. What you're going to want to do at this phase to quickly just get an idea of some things that may be jumping out. Obviously, looking at your spend is important. You can see if you've got a campaign you're just spending quite a bit more than you would like than others. The beauty of this system is you can double click on any of these numbers that you're looking at, and it's going to jump you into the data that makes up those numbers. So if I could double click on 997, it gives me a new worksheet down here that you can always delete when you don't need it. Just hit delete, not going to impact anything. But you can see the targets here that are going into this. So one powerful way you can use this, let's go ahead and delete this. And let's say we've got something that is converting really well that you wouldn't otherwise maybe know offhand. But looking at this data, let's go over to our conversion rate. Here we've got something converting at 50%. So let's double click on this. It may be something that's only gotten a few clicks, but it may not be. It may be something that is in a broad campaign that we're running, and it's just doing very well. Okay, all these are in exact match types, but let's see what we've got that's converting really well. So we've got one that's converting one order out of 2 clicks, so 50% conversion rate. That could be, what if it was 10 orders and 20 clicks? So let's pretend that we want to actually take this and put it into its own bid override and bid higher on it. And maybe it's in a multi-keyword campaign like this one is. All you need to do is come over here to column AC and AD and copy both of those values, hit Control C. And now we're going to go over to the bid override list, which is this little blue icon down at the bottom. And you can very quickly just right click, paste values, and we're going to plug in, let's say our average cost per click for that's like 80 cents. Let's do $1. And then what we can do now is come up to the bid override, and we're going to sync our metrics. And all that's going to do is pull in the metrics for this specific target into this list. And going forward now, what this is going to mean is when we optimize our bids, it's going to ignore essentially this one target, and it's going to bid higher on that. And hopefully our ACOS may jump up to 15-20%, but we're going to be making a lot more sales because we're devoting more bid for this specific keyword. So that's a way you can use the Ad Insights tiles to find really good opportunities that you may otherwise gloss over in your just daily optimization process. So it's good on occasion to run through this sequence, look at the different tiles, see what other things are jumping out to you. Maybe you've got some things that you're again spending a lot on that you otherwise, for a SKU that you want to drive the ACOS down, you don't want to spend as much on that, or you want to just quickly dive into the details and see what's going on. That's what this is really powerful for. The other thing it's really powerful for is actually your initial campaign structure, which I'll have a full video designated on this. But you can see this first tile, it actually breaks down how many broad ad groups you have, exact ad groups, and it's good to have a strategy from the onset on, usually based on the economics of each product. But if you're just getting started, I have a kind of template that I like to follow, and I've tested out a few different ones, and you may have your own, which is fine, but you can watch that video on how to kind of set up your initial campaigns for good performance and campaign budget, regulation, and just making sure you're hitting your certain target ACOS or total ACOS, tacos as they call it, each day. There's a good way to kind of initially get set up with that. So just wanted to briefly touch on this Ad Insights table. We'll have some other videos in the advanced modules that go into a lot more detail into this, and then also cover, as you see, as we add to our override table, it actually creates a custom report. Another thing you can do is add tags. So I didn't do that, but I could say maybe this is a rank campaign target that I want to have. You can go back over to your Ad Insights, and just like we assign that rank, we could do defensive, branded, we could do a whole bunch of other things. And then we can filter this report based on tags, which is nice because we can really see, as we build that list out, we can see how different segments are performing, which is powerful. This weekly metrics is a whole nother kind of module to the system where we're able to pull in another report. So it's going to have a new video for it, but it's going to, just like we went to the KPI tiles, is going to be weekly metrics, and we can see essentially it's going to give us a daily breakdown of these different metrics. So that can be useful in analyzing which campaigns. It's going to actually give us all the campaigns in our that are active, and give us a daily breakdown, so we can see if we've got some that are spending more than others. Maybe we're getting some that are just getting all the sales and they've dropped off. So it's another quick way to kind of get in and analyze how things are performing quickly. All right, so I want to wrap this video up, and in the next series of videos, we're going to get into more advanced features. I just wanted to kind of touch base, circle back, recap everything, and give you an on-look on just some of the more advanced things that you can do with Apex. So I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.